35 years, the Master Sword has been the ultimate promise in gaming. You solve the puzzles, you survive the dungeons, and you pull the blade from the stone, and the game hands you an indestructible, evil banishing holy relic. You were essentially a god. And then Nintendo decided that having a reliable weapon was a bad game design. They looked at the legendary blade of Evil's Bane, gave it a stamina wheel, and told us it needed to take a nap every 10 minutes. Well, today we are ranking every 3D iteration of the Master Sword on the ultimate tier list from S tier down to terrible tier. But we are not just ranking these on nostalgia, we are looking at the whole package. 1. The looks and aesthetic of the sword. 2. The power and the abilities. And 3. The sheer amount of unpaid real-life administrative labor that Nintendo makes you go through just to get the Master Sword fully powered up. Okay, let's jump into the ranking. First tier, terrible tier. The base Master Sword in Breath of the Wild. The grind, you need 13 heart containers to even be able to get the Master Sword. That is easily 20 hours of grinding, shrines, and gameplay just to get the sword. The visual of the sword is its best part. I do enjoy the purple hilt with the green wrapping, the nice gold gem in the center. It does look pretty nice. But the stats are the real tragedy. You do at least 20 hours of grinding for a sword called the Master Sword, and it has a mediocre damage of 30 damage per hit, the same as a Guardian Sword. Its special ability is shooting a weak little sunbeam that you could only do when you're full health anyway. On top of that, it runs out of energy and it has to take a 10-minute nap. It has the same battery life as my smartphone back in 2014. But then we have the Tears of the Kingdom Master Sword, and that told the Breath of the Wild sword to hold my elixir. You get the sword right at the beginning of the game, which is a bonus, but that's because the big bad in the game literally melts it down so it looks like a chewed dog toy in the prologue of the game. To repair the Master Sword, you have to acquire a certain amount of stamina, which takes again 10 to 20 hours of gameplay to do. And that is just making it equivalent to the Breath of the Wild Master Sword. It has a base damage of 30, and to make it viable, you have to use the fusion ability. Essentially, you are taking the Master Sword, forged by the goddesses, and super gluing a Hinox toenail to the tip of it just to make it viable. If I have to glue a rock to the end of my Master Sword just to be able to break a simple ore, it goes in the terrible tier. Alright, we're moving to C tier. Let's talk about the Skyward Sword Master Sword. You're probably grinding 25 to 30 hours deep into the game. You collected goddess tears, you fought a giant Muffet, and you bathed the blade in 3 separate sacred flames. You actually don't get the fully awakened Master Sword till the very end of the game. You just have the tempered Master Sword where the hilt's wings are closed in. So I'll give it a C. I'd even go as far as saying the Goddess Sword variation right before the Master Sword looks a little cooler. Damage-wise, it's pretty strong. It's the strongest sword until the very end where you get the fully awakened Master Sword. And the ability to shoot sunbeams out of it is actually pretty cool. They try to replace your fairy partner like Navi with Fi, who lives in the sword and just kind of tells you the obvious the whole game. Maybe it's just me, but she's pretty annoying.
Master, there is a 95% probability that you are under attack.
Yep, thanks, Fee. I got it.
Did you know your sword can be used to attack?
I figured that one out, yeah.
Master Link, did you know that you were low on hearts?
Yeah, I heard that beeping.
That was me. I was beeping to let you know about the beeping. Did you know you can replenish hearts by collecting more hearts?
You gotta grind a lot. You don't get the fully awakened version until the very end. You have kind of an annoying AI assistant before AI was a thing. It goes C tier. Let's jump into the B tier. Imagine pulling the Master Sword from the stone and it just being half limp and just being a Blue Chew sponsor waiting to happen. That's Wind Waker's Master Sword. First, the grind. When you pull the sword It's completely dead because Ganondorf killed the sages keeping it alive. To fix it, you have to drag a bird girl and a little leaf guy through 2 massive, tedious escort dungeons. You aren't a hero, you're just a babysitter trying to get your sword revived. The visuals, when you first pull the Master Sword, the wings are closed in, it doesn't look great. Then, when you finally awaken it, the wings open up, but it's short, it's stubby. I get that it goes with the aesthetic of the game, but I'm putting that B tier aesthetic. The abilities are, the damage is good. Once you have it fully leveled up, it doubles your damage, but it doesn't really have a special ability with the exception of actually being able to defeat Ganondorf with it. So you do a bunch of grinding just to get the base model work. If my divine weapon makes me do terrible escort missions just to get it fully awakened, I'm throwing it in the B tier. The A tier Master Swords are definitely powerhouses, but they both have one fatal flaw that keeps them out of S tier. First, the Twilight Princess Master Sword. There's not really too much of a grind. It's about 10 hours. You get it towards the beginning of the game, and then it instantly cures your wolf form. Aesthetically, it keeps that really nice traditional Master Sword appearance right off rip. You don't have to grind or do anything special to make it look like the Master Sword should look. It's a strong weapon, but outside of just being able to glow gold and cut through cursed fog, it doesn't have any kind of crazy special ability. That's what keeps it in the A tier. I might be able to redeem myself with the Breath of the Wild fans with the next A tier sword, because that sword is the fully awakened Master Sword from the Breath of the Wild DLC. The stats and visuals are S tier. It pretty much permanently is always glowing blue, which looks really cool. Hits for double the base damage, so 60 total damage, and finally stops with a 10-minute cooldown. It actually feels like the Blade of Evil's Bane should feel. But what keeps us out of S tier is the grind. You have to survive the trial of the sword. You are stripped naked, thrown into 45 consecutive rooms of death, and forced to fight silver Lionels with a rusty spoon. It cost real-life money and tears just to get the sword to act the way it was supposed to act initially. If the sword requires a DLC and that much grinding, goes in the A tier. Alright guys, we've made it. We've made it to the S tier swords. These are the undisputed GOATs when it comes to the Master Sword. The S tier swords that actually made you feel like a god. I know I said we were just gonna do the 3D games. This sword is the strongest sword in the Zelda franchise. It's the golden sword from A Link to the Past. The drip is awesome. It has the purple hilt with a golden blade on the Master Sword. It looks awesome. S tier for sure. Now the grind on this one is probably not S tier grind. It does take about 10 to 16 hours to get the golden Master Sword. You have to collect 3 pendants, rescue a blacksmith who's, I guess, just helpless to rescue himself, then take a bomb, blow a hole in the wall, and have a fairy bless the sword. And then it becomes the golden Master Sword. But the damage and the ability make it S tier despite the grind. It quadruples the base damage of the sword. In combination with the right medallions, you can drop fire nukes out of the sky or clear whole areas with earthquakes. It is a weapon of mass destruction. I don't have to manage a stamina wheel to drop a fire nuke on Ganondorf. It's an S tier sword for me. Maybe it's nostalgia, maybe it's not, but the Ocarina of Time Master Sword is the GOAT S tier sword for me. The grind, you collect 3 spiritual stones. It takes about 6 hours. The stats, 1, it's completely indestructible. 2, it's the 3rd strongest sword in the game, behind the big Goron sword and the Giant's Knife, but the Giant's Knife can break, so it's trash. But the ability is what makes it S tier. The sword can literally travel you through time. It's a time machine. Nothing more S tier than a time machine. If my Master Sword is one of the most iconic Master Swords in history, along with the ability to time travel, that is an S tier Master Sword to me. Drop your tier list in the comments or let me know what I missed, because I'm sure I missed something. And make sure to follow, like, and subscribe to my page. Until next time, peace!